We're going to examine Iron Man's 6 most powerful armors together. Even though Iron Man's story in the MCU ended with Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark's legacy continues with full force. Stark has designed dozens of armors. I sat down and examined them all for you and compiled the best 6 armors. I'm already excited. If this video reaches 1,000 likes, I'll make part 2 of this video. Before we start, I'll give you important information. Not every Tony Stark armor was built to surpass the previous one. All of Tony Stark's films are connected to each other. Each armor was made to address a flaw in the previous one, which is why a much later model can be less powerful than an earlier one. Our ranking won't be chronological. It will be based on power. Fasten your seatbelts, here we go. Wait a second, one last reminder. If you're new to the channel and don't want to miss the content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Number 6. Mark 48 Hulkbuster. The Hulkbuster armor that Bruce Banner used in Avengers Infinity War was a complete feast in terms of size. For some reason, I love seeing Iron Man armors look big. But on the other hand, it was a disappointment for me because Tony Stark wasn't using the armor. The armor's technical specifications are very powerful. High durability rate, reinforced muscular systems, and advanced defense mechanisms made the Hulkbuster special. But as I said, it's a bit demoralizing when Tony isn't inside. Moreover, Bruce Banner was a physicist who specialized more in scientific theories and gamma radiation. But Tony Stark was a genius engineer who spent years developing these armors. That's why Bruce Banner couldn't use the armor like Tony Stark did. In fact, Bruce Banner may not have even fully demonstrated the armor's existing potential. He probably called this armor through the Veronica satellite, just like Tony did. Of course, I shouldn't be too unfair. Hulk did his best. Let's continue. Number 5. Mark 5. I don't think there's another armor in Iron Man that's this special, yet gets so little recognition. Manually moving armors excite me. Are you the same way? This armor is a bag you carry with you at all times. Tony Stark looks like he's carrying an ordinary bag when going to a meeting. But inside that bag actually lies a superhero story. Actually, this armor wasn't designed to be used all the time, only to have with you in tough times. The goal was for it to be portable, small, and practical. I have to admit that in terms of equipment, it's weaker compared to the armors that came before and after it. No advanced weapon systems, short flight time, limited power reserves. But when it comes to durability, it's a complete legend. An armor that will destroy your opponent right in front of you. What do you think is more important in an armor, durability or an equipped offensive system? Write your thoughts. Number 4. Mark 3. This armor is hard to wear and old, but it's a complete legend in terms of durability. For me, one of the most important things in an armor is durability. Yes, you need to be powerful against your enemy, but if you're not durable, it doesn't matter. That's why this armor's durability makes me overlook the fact that it's old. Tony Stark had gained superhuman power with this armor. Think about it like this. He could lift tons of weight with just his 2 hands. Moreover, looking at muscle strength, Stark's later armors didn't have this much pure physical power. Yes, the new models were faster, smarter, but that raw power in Model 3, it was like the soul of iron itself. Mark III had weak points too, of course. The energy reactor was a bit weak, meaning it couldn't compete with new armors in terms of power consumption. But when it came to close combat, that's where things changed. Because Model 3, with its durability and muscle strength, could tear apart most of the models that came after it in seconds. Number 3. Mark 7. One of the turning points in Iron Man's armor history. When Tony Stark designed this model, he no longer aimed just to maximize defense, but also offense. Compared to previous models, it was much heavier, much more equipped. Model 7 was a complete arsenal. It had an improved version of the lasers Stark used in the previous film. These lasers were no longer single-use, because Stark had connected them directly to the arc reactor. So the energy source was at the heart of the armor, and this gave him the ability to use lasers repeatedly. No longer a single-shot power, but an unlimited death ray in his hands. If you ask me, the thing I love most about this armor is the way Stark puts it on. Remember that iconic scene in the Avengers? Stark jumps from the building, spreads his arms, and Mark 7 comes from the sky and locks onto him. That moment left its mark not only on cinema history, but also on superhero technology. In terms of durability, it was at a legendary level too. Even though it was big and heavy, it had the most advanced armor plating of its time. And in terms of firepower, let's be honest, even Model 43 couldn't compete with it. Because Mark 7 was built on pure power, raw energy, and striking impact. Every detail was optimized for the battlefield. But Stark's armors had a bad side like this. When he improved one thing, the other thing weakened. Let me explain this situation to you like this. As Stark developed his armors, meaning as he made them easier to wear, the power and durability actually began to gradually decrease. Model 7 was a complete giant. It was heavy, complex, but at the same time seemed invincible. When practicality came to the forefront in later models, that steel-like durability in the old armors gradually decreased. So in short, Mark 7 isn't just an armor. It was the peak of Tony Stark's vision of turning technology into the art of war. Number 2, Mark 46. Talking about this armor saddens me a bit because I don't really like seeing two friends fight. Come on, you know who I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Tony Stark and Captain America. Mark 46. It's etched in our memories as the armor Tony Stark wore in Civil War, and unfortunately got beaten up by Captain America while wearing. The Mark 46 armor may be practical and easy to wear, but that doesn't make it portable. Why? Because when fighting Cap and the others, Stark needed much more powerful ammunition. Multiple weapons and micro-storage technology were used inside the armor, so Stark had now started developing his technology, not just for defense, but to increase offensive power in his new model armors. Number 1, Mark 47. The one we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming that leaves Iron Man's other armors behind in terms of equipment, like a technological monster. This armor carries dozens of thrusters and advanced equipment on it. In terms of equipment, it's definitely a step ahead compared to old models. I got excited just talking about it. Actually, the most important feature of Model 47 is that it's a bit updated and equipped with extra equipment, we can say. Tony Stark has now become an engineer who learns from his lessons. He's added extra jets and power systems to the armor to be prepared for all kinds of situations. So which event might these jets have been added from learning a lesson? Yes, I'm being a bit theoretical here, but isn't it logical? He couldn't catch Rhodey in Civil War. So if he had these jets, maybe he could have saved him. This armor offers superior firepower and maneuverability without compromising on practicality. With the improvements made after Civil War, Tony can now move on stage not just as a warrior, but as a strategic genius. That's why, in terms of equipment, Model 47 stands out as a result of the combination of Stark's technology and experience. In summary, Model 47 isn't just an armor. It's proof that Iron Man learned from his mistakes, improved himself, and is ready for any battle.